My name is Nikhil, Nikhil, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about who the hero of the upcoming animated short might be, because that's happening extremely soon. If you're watching this back later on as a VOD, this is actually a live stream. So the format we did before was a lot of fun, where I basically just try to go through all the information right at the start, and then afterwards we have a conversation based on what you guys think. So we're going to try and do that again, because last time it was really cool. It was really cool to be able to hear what you guys think on the spot. And this is something I've just been thinking about for a while. But let's start with the basics. What do a lot of people think is going to happen with the animated short that's coming out super soon? Very, very soon it's coming. A lot of people think that it's going to be for Junkrat, right? Junkrat or Roadhog, mostly because we just got the Junkertown map, and we actually got the animated mini short for Junkrat and Roadhog also in their communications with the Queen. But I think there's a chance that it might not be that. I know that a lot of people seem to think that that's what it is, and they're kind of like dead set on that. But I'm just gonna go through a very, 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 very maybe overly simplistic explanation, or not explanation, just overly simplistic thoughts on why it might not be for Junkrat or Roadhog. Before I even get into the character that I think it might be, which you could probably tell by the title, we also know that it might be for so kind of a long story, but we know that May was one of the ones that, when all those leaks happened, that was one of the only things that didn't come true on that whole leak thing. So there's a big chance that May could be that, because supposedly that was being worked on a long time ago. We also know very quickly, before we get into it too, that the Zarya comic is coming. That was something that actually discussed at San Diego Comic-Con. But I think that one of the options might actually be Pharah. And the reason why I think it might be Pharah is because, like I said, kind of overly simplistic, but if you go back and you look at Gamescom 2016, Gamescom is the event that's happening right now, where The Last Bastion debuted, and this year, the new animated short is going to debut. We actually see this image right here, which is the Overwatch booth, and above it, on the left side, we see Bastion with Ganymede, and on the right side, we see, oh, thanks, by the way, DK, I think his name was. On the right side, we see Anna. And so you would see this and you would think, oh, so what? So Bastion was on the left side, so that means that it's going to be whatever's on the left side? Well, maybe, right? So maybe, but there's a little bit more. So that is actually for 2016. But now let's go back to 2017. This next photo is actually taken by somebody named Che Chu, who works for Hearthstone. I'll leave a link to his original image. But this is a picture that he took of this year's Gamescom. So on the left side of the banner, we see that it's Pharah. And on the right side of the banner, it's Reinhardt. So, like I said, oh, who cares? They're both on the left side. Whatever, right? Yeah, maybe whatever. But the thing that's a little bit more interesting is that when you look at the actual Gamescom Blizzard art, guys, I'll read all the messages afterwards. A bunch of people are sending in stuff. I'll read all that after in a second, guys. But I want to show you this. So if you look at the actual Gamescom art for 2016, we had this image right here. And the only character represented from Overwatch here was Bastion. And if we look at 2017, the only character from Overwatch represented is Pharah. So does that mean 100% Pharah is going to be the character for the short? No, absolutely not. That is definitely not what I'm saying. This is just a conversation about some things I've been kind of thinking about. Because looking back at this, I mean, it would be kind of strange if they made all this art for Pharah, but she wasn't the actual one that they were going to do it for. Not that it's not possible. It's totally possible. But if they did do a Pharah short, that would be very interesting. A lot of people are freaking out in the chat. I'm not saying that's happening for sure. This is just a conversation. We're just on a live stream, hanging out, talking about stuff. So we're not saying that 100% going to happen. But it's really interesting that that is a pattern that, I mean, I guess you could call that a pattern. If it happens twice in a row, maybe it's a pattern. Somebody asked, what are some of the other heroes we've had animated short so far? Okay, that's a good question. So, of course, we've had Winston from Recall. Reaper obviously made an appearance there. We've had in Alive, we had Widowmaker and Tracer. In Dragons, we had Genji and Hanzo. In Hero, we had Soldier 76, and then the last Bastion, obviously we had Bastion. In the final one for season 1, so the way they did this was they broke this down into seasons. So the final episode of season 1 would have been Sombra. So Sombra had a lot of characters in it. It had basically a bunch of talent because it was Reaper again. He made another appearance, Widowmaker, and then the very, very end we actually saw Zarya. So that was one of the reasons why I wanted to bring up Zarya, because Zarya made an appearance at the end of the Sombra short, as well as, like, you know, we're getting her new comic for her. We actually have the image for that comic. So I don't know. I think it's kind of interesting. And one more thing to talk about here is, if we look, I mean, there's no more. It's like there's no more evidence. Basically, what I said is just kind of the things that made me think about that. But if we look back at the comic, let's see if I can get that up. There you go. A lot of you guys, I'm sure, are familiar with Pharah's backstory, but in case you're not, Pharah's backstory has, or at least her comic had, a lot to do with what they call the God programs, right? Or the Anubis AI, which is the God program. So it would be really cool if we could dive back into that and actually see more about the Anubis AI or anything that Helix has going on, really, because obviously Pharah is a part of Helix Securities. We know that there's a lot going on right now with Helix, especially when we go back to the comic where we had Anna, Soldier 76, and Reaper. That was like, I mean, that's a whole long video just talking about that. And I do have a long video talking about that. But it seems like if we do go the Pharah route, it's probably going to give some closure to that. That whole storyline of what they're trying to do there. And even way before that, if you guys remember this. So over in, like, Helix Security doesn't only watch, you know, Temple of Anubis. I know that's most of you guys are thinking. They also watch, or they also were employed to cover Watchpoint Grand Mesa. And that's actually where Soldier 76, I mean, it's pretty clear that that's where he got his gun from. They said that, where is it? Let me see where this little part in here. Oh yeah, they talk about the weapon here. They say that it's a highly advanced weapon developed by Overwatch. So I guess you could say he stole it back. And that's the and obviously I think I don't know if everyone knows that, but that's the reason why they're called Helix missiles, right? So when you right click it from Helix, where do they talk about this? Where they break in? Oh yeah, one of the guards, speaking on the condition of anonymity, claimed that the assailant possessed speed and strength beyond anything a normal person should be capable of. He was professional, confident, surgical, had all the hallmarks of someone with advanced military training. No deaths were reported, but several employees are being treated for non-life-threatening injuries. So if they do go in the direction of Pharah, there is like a lot of stuff they could talk about. And on top of that, coincidentally, this is kind of ties into what I said before. I noticed somebody just said that in the chat. So in the chat, somebody just said, Nikhil, does it tie in with what you talked about for Pharah's dad? So if you don't know what he's referring to, I think his name was Frank something. What he's actually referring to is in a really recent video, only a few days ago, maybe 2 or 3 days ago, Michael Chu, the lead writer of Overwatch, actually just confirmed that who Pharah's father is. For a long time, people were assuming things. He confirmed that Reinhardt wasn't the father way back, but he didn't confirm who was. And he actually confirmed that the person that Pharah was eating dinner with in the Reflections comic is the same person that's her father. So, and then there's a whole like backstory about that, how there might be some Native American in Canada heritage and stuff like that. But it's kind of interesting that he would just arbitrarily confirm who Pharah's father is. I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm just saying that if it did happen, it would be a pretty interesting coincidence if he confirmed the father before an animated short involving Pharah came out. Because when it's Pharah, it's not just Pharah. It's everyone Pharah's connected to. And Pharah is probably one of the most connected characters because of her mother, Anna. And here's my ideal situation. If we actually get the moment where, because a lot of you guys know that Anna was presumed to be dead, Pharah's mother. I mean, even in the comic, it's like the whole thing is like a memoir. If you guys remember that, like I'll go back to the comic for you guys to see real quick. So even in the comic, it's like she's talking about in memory of her, not directly, but in memory of her mother. What did she say? What is her exact words? She talks about her mother like, my mother had one after her tattoo, and I got one to honor her memory. So it would be really cool if they did go that route, if the animated short was actually like the moment where Anna meets Pharah. I don't know. I think that would be really, really cool. But that's basically what I want to talk about. But you guys can tell me what you guys think. You can tweet me. Type in like hashtag Nikhil Pharah, and I'll read out some of your guys' thoughts on hashtag Nikhil Pharah. Whatever you guys think, because even though the chat is in slow mode, it's going really, really fast right now. But let me know what you guys think on there. I'm gonna start reading through some of your guys' thoughts on there. I'll pull it up in a second. Let me open this up. Let me open this up and see what you guys say. I'm probably missing some of the stuff I want to talk about, but I just wanted to talk about it as soon as possible because I thought it was kind of interesting. Nikhil Pharah. Boom. Let's see what we get. Hey, what's up, G-Lo? What's up, Black Wolf? Bunch of people in here. Everyone's saying Mada Mada. A May cinematic. Okay, so somebody said, Nikhil, why do you think there might be a May cinematic short if it's not a Pharah cinematic short? Well, okay, so go over that one more time. Basically, I guess I didn't really go too deep into it. Basically, like way back when we got the original Orisa leaks, because back then she was called Ancora, because it was like a code name kind of, but they described her almost perfectly to an extent. Like they said she was a quadruped. They said that she was from Numbani. They said that she was she played the anchor tank role to have more like kind of a Reinhardt type of role. Like almost everything they said ended up being pretty accurate. But one of the things that they put on there was that the next animated short would be for May. And what's kind of interesting there is that since that leak happened, there hasn't been any animated shorts. Not full ones, at least. Obviously, we got the Doomfist 2D one, and then we got the mini one from that just came out before Junkertown, but there hasn't been a full one since then. So, the way they described that one, if I remember correctly, was like May wakes up, and when she wakes up, she's like in a totally different place. I mean, she's in Eagle Point, Antarctica, and she kind of like she's figuring out where she is. And it's like a lot to it. It's pretty detailed. Maybe I'll talk about that more in the future. But basically, he goes really in depth on that. And that's one of the reasons why maybe that could happen. So, but again, who knows what leaks are? That could have just been crazy lucky guesses. We don't know. The guy claimed to be a QA person from Blizzard. I don't know. Who knows if that's true? It's all anonymous. Okay, so John over on Twitter, who put the hashtag Nikhil Pharah, says the animated short could be about how Helix is dealing with the loss of the Doomfist gauntlet, and Pharah is part of Helix. So, that'd be kind of interesting. That'd be very specific if they're just maybe. I would imagine that would probably be a part of it, if not. But I couldn't see it being the whole thing, but that could probably be part of it, like a subplot or something. Somebody said, Nikhil, what's the hashtag? It's just hashtag Nikhil Pharah. You guys write whatever you want there, and I'll just sort through and I'll kind of see what your guys' thoughts are. Hazy says, not related, but Do you think the queen could be Diva? Got a whole theory on this. I don't really see that happening, but let me know your theory. Mark just asked, Nikhil, what's a song that plays at the end of your videos? That's actually an original song that one of my friends and we wrote together. So we wrote that song together. It's that's why you can't find it if you search for it, because it's original. Okay, let me see what else. We got one from Game State who tweeted hashtag Nikhil Pharah says, what do you think they will be doing in the animated short? So like I said, I would really like a situation where it's like the moment that Anna realizes that her mother is back. Because I can't imagine there's a lot of people in Overwatch who are presumed to be dead, but not very many of them that would have like the emotional punch of like, because I mean, if Soldier 76 came back, who's going to be like, oh my God, Soldier? I mean, his friends, but not like a mother-daughter kind of situation. Or Reaper, I don't know. I feel like that would be kind of hard. The only one I could see maybe like that would be Gerard Lacroix, but that'd be kind of creepy because she definitely confirmed his death. So that'd be really weird if he came back. If he came back, it would be like zombie mode and not like I faked my death kind of thing. Let me see what else. Hold on one sec, guys. I'm trying to reload the tweet so I can see what your guys' thoughts are. It's hashtag Nikhil Pharah if you want to see that. Okay. Let me go back to this. Oh, and by the way, we're checking out Jazor Watch. I'll leave a link to him down below as well. Awesome guy. Great player, of course. Ben Stark asked, hashtag Nikhil Pharah, what about that Lucio short that was supposed to be before Orisa? So that's another one of those things where it's like, it's a leak that we don't really know about. I mean, I don't know. That's one of those things like I wish I could say. I wish I could tell you, but we just don't know. There's not enough information. I think that the May one was the one that was more convincing between the two. I can't really remember the full reasoning for the Lucio one, but I just remember it wasn't as strong as the May one. Next question from Ellie QT, or not question, but comments, I guess, is hashtag Nikhil Pharah. Do you think that Watchpoint Mesa will be in the animated shorts and be made a map, or will they do like The Last Bastion? I can't think of like a relevant reason why they would involve Watchpoint Mesa, unless there's something super obvious that I'm not thinking about. Maybe there's something super obvious about that I'm not even thinking about, but like I can't really think of a reason why they would bring it up. The only reason why I could think is if they would involve Soldier, I guess, but like I don't know. I can't really see that being a big thing. But anyway, we'll take one more before we kind of just like start winding it down. Oh my God. Tristan says, what if Mercy resurrected Gerard? Wow. Okay. That is weird. That would be really weird. Moon Lantern Gaming says, do you think the leaks are real or fake? It depends on which one you're talking about. Oscar says, it feels like the information is so exact. The only thing that is missing is a short animation. Yeah. Blue Buff says, any idea when the animated short is coming out? I think it will be a collab between Anna and Pharah and one more Overwatch character. I would love that. That would be awesome. If it was like Anna, Pharah, Soldier 76, that would be really interesting. I think that would be really, really cool. And when is it coming out? I think it's coming out tomorrow night. Don't quote me on that. I think it is. Maybe it's the day after. I don't know the exact date off the top of my head, but it's very, very soon. So, yeah, Lego Production is saying it's so soon. Hype. I agree, man. But anyways, guys, if you did enjoy this kind of like discussion video, let me know by leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. It really, really does help more than you probably realize. And if you do want to see more videos like this, definitely let me know by leaving a like on the video. But either way, I thought that was a lot of fun. I really, really like this style of just hanging out with you guys for little blocks at a time and just talking about stuff. I said, Nikhil, please don't go. Oh, man. All right, we'll answer a couple more. I don't want to leave you guys hanging. We'll do like one. Let's do one more. This is getting addicting. Respect Wayman says, do you have any wants / ideas for the 2 Pharah skins that were data mined a few months ago? Do I have any ideas for Pharah skins? I know as soon as I end the stream, I'm going to think of a million ideas, but it's hard to think of that on the spot. If I think of something, I'll let you know. Hazy says, can you please read the picture? Okay, hold on. I'm loading it right now. He says, Diva got 2 skins related to Junkertown. Both state mech battles are one of the most popular forms of entertainment in Junkertown. The town seems really barbaric in general. What if these mech battles are tournaments which let you challenge the queen? Knowing that Diva is really strong, she might have won. This seems like a really far stretch, but it could probably be true. I feel like it's either Diva or an old enemy friend of Diva. That would be insane. If that actually happened, I would be... my mind would explode. Do I think that's going to happen? Probably not, but do I want it to happen? Yes, definitely. And I think the mechs they're referring to are the 2 that are in those cases. The one that has a spinning blade and the one that's standing right next to it. Kiva Ruiz here says, hashtag Nikhil Pharah. I hope it's about Reinhardt being an inspiration for Pharah. Oh yeah, that's one thing we didn't even talk about. We didn't talk about that. So if you watch the video about Pharah's father, you also know that besides Reinhardt being confirmed to not be her father, there was a whole voice line interaction where Pharah's kind of just like, I had a poster of you on my wall, and then we actually got that poster in the form of a spray. So that would be kind of cool if we got to see that. Uni says, hashtag Nikhil Pharah. What if Widowmaker couldn't actually kill him and lied, saying she did it? I guess we just don't know enough about like the mental state of Widowmaker to know how brainwashed she was, right? Because that's the whole thing. Widowmaker was supposed to have been so brainwashed that talent can make her do whatever they want. In fact, so much that she was like a sleeper agent kind of, right? So I mean, maybe that would be a really weird, that would be a crazy plot twist to have another person come back from the dead. It's possible, but I don't think that she would be so remorseful, like in the Overwatch Reflections comic where she just stands in front of the grave, if she didn't actually do it. Unless it's all a big act, but I can't imagine that going that far. I don't think they would put that in the, I don't think they would put in the comic if it was going to be like flopped on us. Somebody's asking Nikhil, where do we send in hashtag Nikhil Pharah? Just put it on Twitter. I'm looking on Twitter right now, guys. Hashtag Nikhil Pharah on Twitter. What's this other one? I know I'm reading way too many. This is addicting. I love talking about this kind of stuff. Tyler the Tank says, I think Orisa or Reinhardt animated short would be awesome. I really don't think they would do a Reinhardt one because Reinhardt, or not Reinhardt himself, but you know, Reinhardt-esque characters were involved in the last one. But I would definitely be interested in that also because I think there's a lot more to that story. Hashtag Nikhil Pharah on the subject of, wait, of the subject, what? Oh, do you know what cosplaying is, and have you ever been cosplaying? Yes, I do know what cosplaying is. Have I been cosplaying? I don't think so. Maybe I have. I can't remember. Oh, no, it's not cosplaying, but my old band, we, I don't know if you consider it cosplay, but we all dressed up like Street Fighter characters, and my character was Vega, because they said that I look like Vega, and they made fun of me. How did you find the solar eclipse? I'm in Europe right now, so I don't even know if the solar eclipse happened here. Maybe it did. One of them is, what if Anna meets her daughter whilst defending a hospital or something, and Pharah has her helmet and doesn't reveal herself? Whoa, that would be like one of those like heart-clenching moments. This one's hashtag Nikhil Pharah. The new hero may be the queen since Athena is the map announcer. This means she can be used on the map if she gets playable. The whole queen thing, I think we just don't have enough information there. Silky says, is Gerard really dead? Anna and Soldier 76 were thought to be killed. Like I mentioned a second ago, I think he is, just because I don't think she would be that sad about it if she was just faking it. Because like, unless she knew for a fact and they demonstrated to the audience that, hey, she's definitely faking it, I don't think that she could like put up the act for that long. This one says, but imagine if Gerard was what? What? This one says, hashtag Nikhil Pharah, but imagine if Gerard was Pharah's dad. That would be super weird. Well, Pharah is 32 years old. I don't think Widowmaker and Gerard are old enough to be Pharah's parents. I mean, Anna's like a grandma, so I don't think that would work out. That would make sense. Divas. Oh, I see. Okay, so he was mentioning the two Diva skins named Junker and Scavenger. Yeah, I got you. It's definitely tied in. I just don't know if they're gonna have like a whole event from like a programming perspective, you know. Play nice, play fair is what the Dard said. Okay, my Instagram. There's a lot of these guys. I'm trying to find some real beefy ones. There's so many of these. If this is a short or will be a thing, could it be about the Anubis AI God programmer rebooting himself? I think that would be really interesting. I like the idea they had with it, but like they didn't really go further with it. So if it did have something to do with that and it really like drove that into the narrative of Overwatch, that would be really interesting. I would really love that. I would like that a lot. So I hope that is a thing that can happen. What if Pharah goes on a mission with Reinhardt, which is why they have that good in-game interaction? That would be really cool. I would like that a lot too. I mean, they have a good interaction, not because of their mission, but because when Pharah was a little girl, she like admired Reinhardt, right? Her mother knew Reinhardt. She admired him. They got along. But I get what you're saying. Like, if after the fact they went on a mission together, that would be really cool. What do you think they would do on the fact? What do you think they do on the fact of what happened when Overwatch? Oh yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they would. So he's basically asking like if they would make an animated short about the like the end of Overwatch. I feel like that would be really epic. But I have a feeling they would probably save that for a very, very long time. I'm gonna skip a lot of the personal questions just because I want to talk about the actual lore, and I don't think everyone here wants to hear about like myself. They want to hear about the lore, so I'm gonna skip a bunch of these. But the Diva update, the missiles indicate that she's Diva against a giant omelet in the recall. I don't think there's so he's basically asking about like the missiles, if there's like a lore reason for it. I don't think so. I think it's mostly just because Defense Matrix was so strong. But we'll end on that, guys. Like I said, if you enjoyed this style of video and you'd like to see another one of these where we talk to you guys directly, we have the information in the beginning, we talk to you directly, definitely let me know. If you want to know when that stream is happening, don't forget to turn on notifications by hitting the bell. That's the best way to know when we go live, because I don't have a schedule. I just kind of go live when there's something on my mind and I want to talk about it. So if you want to come to the next one, hit the subscribe and then turn on notifications. And if you like this video, definitely like. I would appreciate it. Thanks so much for being here, guys. I appreciate it. And if you want to see another one, I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everybody. Hey, adult.